Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, chuckfinleLP Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Part 1. This is the third Sonic game in the series, or the fourth Sonic game in the series, and the third Sonic game to have a menu option. There's a one-player and a two-player option. I'll take a look at the two-player option really quickly. We can do Grand Prix, Match Race, and Time Attack. Grand Prix is set over a set number of races. Match Race is a single race, and Time Attack is you run around 5 laps of a level and you try to beat the clock. Alright, you can see these item boxes. Left one means no items, or the left one means you can have items in the two-player match, and the one with the X on it means you can't have any items in the match. But we're not going to take a look at, we won't worry about that right now. We're going to take a look at the single-player mode. You can see I already have 2 files here. And you can use a no save and choose your characters, which wouldn't put it on one of these save files. And this is the first game to actually have, for the Genesis, first Sonic game for the Genesis to have a save file feature on it. You can see you can delete them by hitting yes or no. And you can choose Sonic alone, Tails alone, or Sonic and Tails. I'm going to choose Sonic and Tails because Tails isn't quite as annoying and very helpful in this one than he is in Sonic 2. Especially with the, he doesn't get in the way quite at all during the trying to go after the Chaos Emeralds. And you can see this is the first appearance of Knuckles, the Echidna, another new character in the Sonic series. Alright, so there are a couple new moves in this game, and you can see Sonic and Tails obviously has a sprite change. Their sprites are different. Let's see, we'll get down here. Look up. Isn't quite as fast as in previous Sonic games. Looking down, curling up into a ball. And Sonic has a certain attack that puts a force field around him when he's curled up into a ball, which will hurt enemies around him, which is very helpful by hitting the jump button again once you're in the air. And you can see these big rings are what allows us to get into the special stages instead of the getting 50 rings at the end of the level or going after a lamppost, as in Sonic 1 and 2, and Sonic CD as well. Alright, so this is an interesting style. What we have to do is go after these blue spheres, and you can see we get rings out of these bigger fields. You can only get, I believe, there has to be 9 in a little group before you can get rings out of them. And you just follow around the edge, hitting all the blue spheres on the edge, and you'll be able to get all the rings in them. If you get all the rings, you'll be able to get a perfect, which will get you more points. And just like in Sonic CD, for every 50,000 points you get, you will gain an extra life. I believe once you get 50 rings in the special stage, you'll get a continue, just like in Sonic 1. Once you got 50 rings in the special stages for Sonic 1, you'd get a continue, and that is the tone for the continue. And there's perfect, good. Alright, you can, as you can see, you cannot slow yourself down, but you can control which direction you run in. And by the longer it takes you to go in the special stage, the faster you'll run, and the faster you run leads to more mistakes. And if you hit one of the red spheres, you lose immediately, and that's the tone for a life. But you'll see. I'll try to go after all of the Chaos Emeralds in this one to gain Supersonic and get the good future, or not good future, the good ending. Anyway, so springs. Anyway, there are a lot of hidden secrets here. Well, I guess not too many, but there's one that I want to go after first. But I'm gonna take a look at this. Oops. At this bubble shield. As you can see, water physics are just the same like in previous Sonic games, except you move a little bit slower than in Sonic 2 and in Sonic 1 as well. You move slower than both of those games. But if you look around and you move this rock, you'll be able to if Tails would quit pushing against it, making it slower. You can come down here and gain a few rings and a invincibility shield. But if you noticed, I had bounced when I had the bubble shield. There are 3 different shields in this game that Sonic can use different abilities for them. And this is a mini boss and a new thing to the Sonic series. It doesn't really help you right now, but you'll see we will be able to fight him before we at the end of Act 1. And at the end of every act, there will be a mini boss that you have to fight before you face Robotnik at the end of Act 2. And sometimes you'll get a preview of what the mini boss will look like. Oftentimes you won't, though. But you can see with the bubble shield, you do bounce. It doesn't really help you. It does kind of give you an extra height to your jump. But the electric shield not only attracts rings to you, but will also give you a double jump that I'll show off momentarily. Each shield, they're kind of elemental shields, and they are affected by different elements, like the electric shield, and there's a fire shield as well that we'll see will go out in water, while the water shield will oh, Tails. That's about the only annoying thing about Tails, is sometimes he'll hit an enemy and it will hurt you. It'll end up hurting you. But you can see this is something new as well. You can hit these signposts for extra score, or I guess extra points. And sometimes you'll find hidden items underneath the ground if you'll hit the right spot. Most of the time it'll be a shield, but sometimes it'll be a ring box with 10 rings in it. And you can see that something new as well is like a pose that both the characters will do at the end of each Act 1 and 2. They'll both do that as long as you hit the sign, or I guess if you beat Robotnik and flip the sign in Act 1 and beat Robotnik in Act 2, they'll do that little pose. But the elemental shields, I guess they only get the electric, and fire is the only one that gets affected by water. You'll get hurt if you touch fire, just like in previous Sonic games. But the fire shield will protect you from fire, which we'll see later on in the game. It's really helpful in a later level. But I'm trying to think trying to make sure I don't forget anything. It's really important. We won't see a fire shield just yet. I don't believe there's one in Act. Well, there might be one in Act 1, but there may not. Now these can get confusing, especially some of these when you have to run around more along open fields, and you'll get lost very easily, and you'll just keep running through the same. It all like connects with one another. It's like one big field, and you will pass the same areas more than once, especially if you just run in a straight line and you don't have any problems or get hindered in your movement at all. You're kind of following what emeralds do nowadays with color. Usually you'll find the green one first, then or a red one later on, but anyway, we'll see what's down here. Yeah, we'll really suck in this one. A one water zone compared to 2 in Sonic 1, and there are 2 areas you can go underwater like in Sonic 2, but they're not too many. Let's see. We will see Knuckles a lot because he'll do different things in the background. At first, he tries to stop us, get in our way, and just cause trouble for us, make it harder to go through the island. The Angel Island is what this whole island is called. This is the Angel Island zone, but that's just because, as you saw in the beginning intro, which is also a first for Sonic games. Well, I guess Sonic CD had that one intro, but that was more of a cartoon style. This is an actual in-game intro. But let's see, okay, we don't need anything over here, so we'll just keep going this way. But yeah, Knuckles at first is our enemy. He was tricked by Robotnik into thinking that Sonic is here to steal the Chaos Emeralds, which Knuckles is the guardian of, and the Master Emerald, which we'll see later on in the game as well. And now, if you do get 50 rings and you touch a lamppost, you will be sent into a bonus stage where you can, it's kind of like a gumball machine, and you can get different shields, such as a fire shield. You can see a 1-up bubble in there, or a sphere, that we can get as well. And that bottom springs will go away. Yeah, you can see they've already disappeared. That is one bad thing about Tails, is that he will do things like that, get in your way. I really could use a fire shield here. Wow, look at Tails, that's just weird. Anyway, okay, yeah, that should fix it. As long as you keep running ahead of the bombs, they shouldn't hurt you, just do not slow down at all. I really should have got a fire shield for this boss. You can hear the music in the background messing up. That's because of the airship noise, the bombs, and the background music itself, and maybe the background. Oh, who's there in the trees? Oh, who knows? Who knows? Ah, it's Robotnik, of course. So this goes after the traditional style of it takes 8 hits to defeat him. A fire shield helps here because you won't get hit by the fireballs that he shoots. Wait, was that 6? That may have been 6. My bad. But the capsules do return, and you do free some of Sonic's friends, just like in Sonic 1 and 2. But yeah, that's there's a lot more I can talk about later, but for now that's it. And we'll see Knuckles will stop us. I thank you for watching. The challenge of the video is how many rings that I collect. I thank you for watching. Until next time.